Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. Today we're going to be walking around or driving around on an e-bike in the rain and letting you see what is happening here in mainland China. I'm just coming out of Hojilu Jinda Park where I have my little apartment, and you can see that everybody out here is wearing a mask. Like seriously, everybody in China wears a mask. It's not like the United States or Canada where you get the odd person masked up. Here, I think it may be even mandatory. They actually look at it as a good thing here, not spreading this virus around if they don't have to. They've got security out front. See the QR code? What it does is it tells where people are at any particular time. Whenever you're going into a store, into a wet market, into an apartment complex, anywhere, you scan your QR code on your WeChat app, so if anybody comes down with the CV, then they know the time, date, where you were. And if you were there when that other person was there that had CV, they can contact you. You can see that there's basically, I would say about half the number of people on the street that would normally be on the street here in China. Usually, this is a Sunday afternoon, there would be a lot more people out and about, but then again, it's cold outside. It's been a really rainy day, but as you can see, the stores are open, people are back to work, the buses are running, the subways are running, everything is sort of coming back into a little bit more normal life here in China, which is good. You see, I've only been out of quarantine for a couple days now. Yesterday I went to the wet market and did the wet market video, and today Gweilo 60 is running around his area of China showing you the streets of China and what it looks like. Holy smokes, those apartment complexes across the street there, when I left a couple months ago, they were not even, like, a lot of work has been done in the last 2 months on those puppies. Let me tell you, everything gets done really fast here in China. I was very curious to see how Nanning was going to be, how many people were going to be on the streets of Nanning when I got out of quarantine, because up until yesterday I was in quarantine for 14 days at a 5-star hotel. Yeah, so I really didn't know how many people or what to expect on the streets of Nanning. So I figured that everybody would be really interested in a video just driving around Nanning City, just to see that you know, what is out there, what the people are doing. Are they staying at home? Well, some of them are. A lot of them aren't. This is basically the streets of Nanning on April the 5th, 2020. You know, there's everybody's wearing masks. Everybody is just going about their daily activities. As I said before, the businesses, the restaurants. So we went to our favorite soup kitchen this morning for breakfast. We've been to the wet market a couple times in the last couple of days. Well, because they've got the good food there. It's fresh. Everybody says, oh, but it's so dirty, Gweilo. Well, no. And as far as the meat goes, you wash it before you cook it anyway, guys. It's not a big deal. The fruits are fresh and cheap. The veggies are fresh and cheap. Oh God, I love the wet markets. It's my favorite place to go shopping. Oh, and an announcement. We have, for next Saturday morning, we have a different panel lineup Of course, we have Matt from JO Nation. This is 9 o'clock next Saturday morning. We have Alex from Reporterfy Media. We have Gweilo 60, and we have a new guy on the block. We have Alex Absolute. Yes, sirree. Me and Alex go back a ways. We've done some videos together. I think you're really going to like this guy. Daniel had to bow out this week. He had other things that he had on his plate. He's got, as everybody knows, Daniel runs a couple of different businesses, a brew pub and an export business. And he's got his YouTube channel, and he was having a little bit of problems with scheduling everything, and the panel, the 4-person panel, was the one to go. So we're gonna miss Daniel on Saturday mornings. He was a great addition to the group, but as always, things change, and this gives chance for Alex Absolute. He's a smaller YouTuber living in China, lots of Chinese content, an excellent guy, smart as a whip, married and children in China, so he has more knowledge of China than most people out there. So I'd like to welcome Alex Absolute to our Saturday morning live stream. As I drive around Nanning City, it's sort of really nice to be back in Nanning. I miss this place terribly. Just sort of the hustle and bustle, the types of people that are out there in Nanning is it's a great place. The old buildings, the new buildings, just the people on the street, man. It's one of those places that I just love. And you can see that it is getting back to normal. All of the businesses are open. People are on the streets, on their e-bikes. Even the older ladies out there. Yes, that was one of them. Yeah, you know, China is getting back to some form of normality, where the rest of the world is just going into, I call it the hellhole, because my God, man, you look at over 300,000 cases in the United States alone. Spain just took over Italy for the second worst place in the world for the CV. Canada has got a lot of, you know, my home country. I sort of worry about my dad, because he just turned 83 on February the 17th. He's got kidney problems, he's on dialysis, he's not the healthiest cat in the world, so I really worry about him, and I wish this thing would just go away. I think that if everybody social distances, everybody washes their hands, everybody wears masks, everybody takes care of their neighbor. If you've got old people, maybe, you know, call them on the phone, ask them if they're okay, ask them if they need something. You know, don't just assume that everything is fine and hunky-dory. Make sure that, you know, take care of your neighbor, take care of your family, but do it from a distance, guys, because this thing can take off. 1 makes 2, makes 4, makes 8, and before long, you've got over 300,000 in the United States, and still growing exponentially. It's one of those things, it's a scary, scary scene. I know that China has this under control, but the rest of the world doesn't seem to have it under control yet. So be diligent. Take care of your friends, your family, your neighbors. It's important. And this is a weekend that the 3-day holiday, Qingming, or the grave sweeping holiday, was supposed to take place, but this is something that's never happened before in the 17 years that I've been in China, that they've postponed it. If you do not have to go to your village, do not go. They're saying you can do the grave sweeping, you can do Qingming any time of the year. Now is not the right time. See, the whole of China would go back to their village to clean off the graves of their ancestors, their family members, their friends, the people that they know. And you climb up mountains because every grave is on the top of a frickin' mountain, yes. So Gweilo has many times climbed up many mountains to clean off graves of Wei Feng's mother, of course, but then her ancestors, her grandparents, aunts, uncles, great-grandparents, great-great-great-grandparents. I'm serious. This goes back generations and generations. And we always go to Bobai. We stay at our cousin's place, usually either Tongo's place or Wu Fa's place, and we spend, you know, 2, 3, maybe 4 days down there, and we do the grave sweeping. We converse with family and friends. We at the end of the 3-day grave sweeping holiday time period, the whole village gets together because you've got all these sacrificial chickens and ducks and pigs and geese and all the things that you sort of symbolically offer the dead people. And at the end of this, all of the villagers that have been going up and down mountains for the last 3-4 days, they get together in the town square and they have a big feast. Oh, and it's amazing. There's beer drinking, people are happy, they've done all of the things that they're supposed to do, they sort of feel good about themselves, they've given their ancestors paper shoes, paper outfits, paper cars, paper this, paper that, and burn them so that helps them along their journey in the afterworld. Paper money, oh yes. And firecrackers going off and all of that other stuff all over the mountains of rural China, from border to border to border to border. I'm telling you, it's everywhere in China. And at the end, they sort of celebrate that they've done this, and they have a big feast. So all of those critters that have been up and down the mountains and stuff like that, yes, they really get eaten by myself and all of the people in the Bobai area, which is sort of neat. As I'm driving around talking to you guys, you can see that, you know, the stores are open, the little markets are open. Like this one over here, it's a sort of a little wet market, and they sell meat and veggies and oh, they've even got beer there. It's one of the things. But all of these things are open. People are getting back to their daily routines. They're not afraid anymore here in China. When I left, what was it, on February the 3rd, I guess it was, to Thailand, there was an actual fear in the air here in China because people just didn't know what to expect. Now that fear is gone. People know that their government can handle this, can take care of it. They know that there's going to be food on the tables, in the stores. There's going to be masks, yes, and there's no shortage of toilet paper here in mainland China. Oh, yeah. You see, the thing is that they don't panic. They don't freak out. They worry. There was fear here, but they all understood that they come together, they beat this thing, and they beat it as a country. I'm sort of proud of these people because they've done more in the last 2 to 3 months than I've ever seen any country ever do in my life. I would say it's probably the same back as in World War II, when you get countries building tanks, building, you know, firearms, building ships, building, you know, getting the whole country moving in the same direction to make it so they can beat the problems that are coming at them. And that's exactly what I saw here in China, that everybody came together, everybody did their part to make it so this CV was beaten back into where it should be, you know, into the history books. I just wish, I so wish that the Western world would just listen to China and how they dealt with this to make it so they could beat this thing too, rather than just letting it run rampant. Take an economic hit to your financial books there, United States, Canada, everywhere else in the world. Life is more important than a couple of bucks. We can always get our economies back in line, but you can't bring back people that have passed away because of this. So one of the things that I can say is that China saved a lot of people by doing what they did. And I think that the United States, especially the United States with over 300,000 confirmed cases, and those are the ones that are tested. I'm sure there's way more there than what they've tested for. If they would just listen to China and learn from China on this, there would be less suffering of your people in the United States. And you get into these smaller little community areas of Nanning City, and you know, nothing has really changed except that people are wearing masks. You know, they're aware of the possibility of getting this CV, and they understand that. So you know, what else can they do? They have to go to the grocery store. They have to go to the wet market. They have to go to work. What can they do? They can wear masks. This is one of the things that you know, they can do on their own to make sure that they're just a little bit safer. Sure, the masks don't work 100%. Nobody ever said that they did. But if they can work 5%, even 3 or 4%, and give you that extra little chance of not being infected, I think it's worth it. If one of my children had a 5% better chance of not catching this because they were wearing a mask, I would make them wear a mask. Yes, Randy, I'm talking to you. You guys should always wear masks when you're out in Edmonton. Same with you, Callie, and same with you, Jari, in Red Deer. If you're going out in public, get some masks. Get some good masks and wear them, because it's important. 1.4 billion people in China can't be wrong. So listen to your dad. Man, I love riding my e-bike around, even if it's cold outside. You notice I got these little warmers on my hands. It makes it just that much nicer. But just cruising around Nanning on an e-bike is entertaining to an old guy like me. I enjoy it immensely. It brings me back to the days when I was a youngster with our little 80cc Chaparral motorcycle, 250cc Suzuki Enduro, 1000cc Harley Davidson Sportster, 700cc Yamaha, or was it an 800? Or was it a 600? I can't remember. It was a Yamaha. Nobody really liked that motorcycle. But you know what I mean. It's one of those things that it brings an old boy back into his youth a little bit, and I enjoy it. So anyway, that's what's going through my mind as I drive around Nanning, China. That's another video from Gweilo 60, riding around the streets of Nanning so you can see what it looks like post-COVID-19 on the streets of Nanning. Anyway, that's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the bell. Don't forget to resubscribe. Don't forget to make a comment. Comments, good, bad, or indifferent. Let me know what you're thinking out there, guys. And never forget to put a couple bucks on the children's Patreon account. It's these poor rural Chinese children. All they need is a helping hand, and we can give that helping hand to them. Help me, help them. Thanks for watching. Bye now.